Yo, what's up guys? If you're like me and you play ranked but you don't necessarily want a W key, then this video is for you. Because today I'm going to be going over some essential tips and tricks that you need to rank up while playing passively. By the way, if you do end up enjoying the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. We're on the road to 6K. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. So starting off in the mid game here, I've just looted up off spawn and now I'm looking for some movement. So I'm going to this old fight to see if there's any movement, and thankfully there is an Oni mask. By the way, for this video, I'm going to be analyzing two of my games, and the other one, I'll be going into more depths off spawn. So I'm just kind of looking through some of the old loot, seeing if there's anything else that I could take. I think about taking the Hollow AR, but the suppressed pistol is kind of busted and it's hella underrated, so I decided to keep it for now. So I'm kind of just looking for anyone to jump here in the area, because I know that there's quite a few people around. And before we get further into the video, I just want to make one thing clear. That playing passively is not the same as camping. Camping is when you're literally just sitting in one spot, but playing passively is just taking smart fights. So here I'm just kind of seeing footsteps. I thought it was a real player, but it turns out it was just an NPC. However, it turns out a real player heard my shots, and now I'm kind of in a weird situation where he's coming down right towards me. So I kind of just like maneuver around the present so that when he goes to loot it up, then I'm going to be standing right behind him. The AI starts shooting me, but the real player doesn't notice somehow. I have no clue how he didn't do that. So I just hit a big pump on him, and after that, it's just a quick cleanup. And as someone who's not the best fighter, finding quick kills like this is probably the best way to rank up, since it doesn't take a lot of time and it doesn't waste a lot of your materials. Also, since the fight finished so fast, third parties wouldn't even have time to react, so I can kind of just like get out of the area quickly before someone good comes to key me. So after that, I kind of just chill for a while on the turtle and end up making my way over to the island since it's kind of close by. I think that the island is one of the best ways to get easy damage and kills since it is very chaotic and a lot of people don't even notice that you're there. And now is a great time to talk about one of the easiest ways to rank up. So if you're keying someone but you don't necessarily want to fight them, you can get easy damage off of them. For example, a big initial tag where you hit them for like 80 damage and then just disengage. Since getting assists also helps you rank up, it's not just kills. Anyways, since killing this boss took so long, I'm just going to fast forward to the end of it. So as I'm going over to kill the boss and grab the medallion, which will make me invisible, I'm kind of just like looking for other third parties since a lot of people like to push over to the island once the boss is killed trying to take the medallion. So I kind of just like play it safe here, and when I'm popping my heals, I double box up just to be safe, and I know that I can always refarm those materials later. Once I'm done popping my heals, I go over to rotate to 6th zone, and I box up in middle on top of this hill to see if anyone else comes from island, since if they do, I can get free tags on them. And playing like this, just looking for damage and staying safe until endgame has allowed me to get all the way up to elite, so if you are in platinum or diamond, this will definitely work for you. And sure enough, a guy comes and I hit him for a few tags so that when he dies, I get a share of the percentage. However, next zone pulls far, and this is where the fun begins. So I think that in ranked, you don't have to have as many brain cells as you need for tournaments, but you still need to know how to rotate. Thankfully though, this game is pretty dead, and there's only 7 kids up going into 7th zone, so I just use my invisibility medallion and sprint down the middle since most likely there won't be anyone shooting at me. However, in more stacked endgames, you probably want to get a void mask and just teleport all the way to front side, since that's just the easiest and most efficient way. And since I don't have a void mask, I'm stuck to just using my Typhoon Blade the entire time. And since I rotated so early, I'm kind of just able to choose exactly where I want to make my box in 7th zone. So I choose this hill overlooking the entire water lake area, since anyone who's boxed up there will have to go through me if zone pulls far. And now's a great time to talk about what you should do if you're in a more stacked endgame where, for example, there's like 15 people alive going into 6th zone. Since you won't be able to just rotate freely and there might be people shooting at you, what you want to do is rotate as early as possible and get as far or as close to the next zone as you can before zone starts moving. Since then you can look back and hold anyone who's using their void mask, since most people in ranked don't even try to box up while they're using it and they just throw it out in the open. So while they have their void mask out, you can just shoot them. And going into 6th zone, if you're playing passively, you should have almost capped mats. And what you should be doing is getting pretty deep into 6th, 7th, and even 8th zones so that you can look for height in endgame. Since there's not that many people left in endgame, then most of the time it's kind of free. Anyways, this game I'm kind of just scouting and looking for anyone rotating in late to get tags on. Anyways, I see some kids fighting backside and I try to take a few shots of them, but then I start getting keyed out of nowhere. Thankfully though, this guy was not that great and he just wanted to get in my box for some reason, So I try to piece him up, and we don't talk about whose aim was worse here. I think it was his since I won the fight. But either way, now I have a refresh, and I've just pulled 8 zone. So now I'm chilling. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I was thinking here since I tried to make a massive tarp into 8 zone, but I ended up just losing a lot of health in the process. Anyway, guys, don't ask in the comments why I'm on 24 HP. We don't need to talk about that. So anyways, now I'd have to rotate across the water to get into zone. And there's really no other choice for me but to swim and kind of just box up as much as I can so I don't get focused. And I'm kind of just using the distance that I can get by tapping my Typhoon Blade to get across the river or lake as fast as possible. And now I'm just kind of looking backside and just watching the people around me, trying to make sure no one tries to jump into my box. I always mark the edge of 9th zone so that I know where I need to box up. And while this is more useful in tournaments with more stacked endgames, it still is useful in ranked because you don't want to get confused and go the wrong direction. So now I'm just kind of rotating in, boxing up exactly where I wanted to in metal so that no one shoots me. And I have great mats going into 9th zone, and there's really only 2 kids left at this point since the other 2 guys are just absolute shambles. So I'm just looking for a few final tags before the last 1v1. And I'm not going to lie, this zone was really weird with it pulling back over the water, so I kind of just swim under height so that he doesn't shoot me. And just like that, I'm frontside. And I get hit really hard here, but thankfully I don't get keyed for it. Now, if I were this guy, I definitely would have keyed this, and he probably would have killed me.
Right there, but
but for some reason, he decided to go up for height, and just like that, I survived. So now I'm just kind of rotating through, trying to make sure I make it until the last 2, and I'm kind of just using my invisibility medallion here to get to front side. But someone sees me again, and now I'm hit down to very low HP. Thankfully, though, they don't key me for some reason. I'm gonna be honest. If you're in this situation in the endgame and you get a big tag on someone, definitely just try to get into their box and just take the free kill. Anyways, though, it's about to be the last 1v1 since the 2 other guys are fighting. So I'm just kind of prioritizing front side here and trying to see if I can get the last kill. And I'll let the last 1v1 play out.
No, bro. Jeez.
Yeah, a slight sell on my part, especially with the aim. But anyways, let's hop into the next game. So I land at this whole wood factory on the south of the map because it has great metal and it's great for my playstyle. But anyways, after grabbing a little bit of preliminary loot, I go over to this house over here since it always has a rare chest that spawns 100% of the time. However, this time there's someone camping it, and I don't know where he was looking, but I should have definitely been killed right there. But thankfully this guy's just really bad and he has no shields, so I just kind of pick up a free kill.
Yo, that
now with my drop spot, it's really impossible to split, so if someone lands there, I'm always going to fight them. Even if I lose most of the time, it is good practice for tournaments. But anyways, now with this free kill, it's a lot easier for me to rank up since it's not going to take as much placement. So now I'm just kind of grabbing a few of the extra chests around my drop spot since most people don't land here since it's kind of out of the way and on edge map. But I see this Sprine has already been taken, so I'm kind of just a little bit confused and a little bit wary because I only thought there was one person landing near me who I just killed. So I'm just kind of crouching up here trying to see if there's anyone still here. But it's really funny since the guy who was here actually disconnected and I don't know what happened to him, but I'll just take the free kill. So now I have 2 kills that were both so free, and now I'm kind of just chilling for endgame. By the way, when you're playing passively, I would always suggest trying to take fights off spawn since it's very easy to get advantages on people. However, in mid game, it's a little bit harder since most people have a lot of mats and a lot of heals, so fights can drag out quite a bit. However, while I was recording this gameplay, it was actually New Year's Eve, and as it just so happened, an hour passed, so everyone in the lobby started dancing. Anyways, I go up to Island again to see if there's any free damage or free kills that I could get, but the boss looks like it's already been taken. And I see someone on the hill opposing me, and I hit a nasty beam on him. I don't even know how I saw him, I'm gonna be honest. But either way, with that big damage, then I'm kind of just able to rotate through him since he's gonna be popping heals. And this part of the map is very similar to the last game that I analyzed, but this time there's quite a few more people that are still alive, so I'm kind of just rotating around the edge here to make sure that no one shoots me, especially since I don't have the invisibility medallion in this game. However, if you remember from earlier this game, I actually got a water boom from the water shrine. So now I'm just running over to the lake to box up and replenish my shield without having to pop any heals. And now, since 7th zone pulls far, I'm just kind of able to swim around here since there's no one in front of me and I've positioned myself quite well. So I'm just trying to get as deep as I can here into the 7th zone. since all the people are behind me and I want to be able to shoot back at people with my busted hollow AR. Now, since I found such a good time to rotate, and since it was pretty early, no one had boxed up on this mountain yet, so I'm able to claim it as my own, and I double box up there.
I'm investing in this position.
And now I'm kind of just able to look back at the 9 other people in this lobby who are probably all going to be rotating in late.
Pre-fire that. 1 HP.
And after shooting this guy and hitting him for quite a bit, Zone ends up pulling northwest. And this guy is the only person who could have held me if I rotated early. So I spray him a little bit more just to condition him and make sure that he doesn't peek me while I try to rotate early. And now I'm able to connect to this high area, and I'm able to just chill for a little bit and scout everyone else in the lobby. However, after doing a little bit of spraying, I know I have to rotate all the way into 8th zone, since I'm actually not even in here, and 8th zone is kind of like the first moving zone, so, I have to move again.
Shut up, brother. I just wanna make
So
sure.
I always make sure to switch to metal when I box up here, since it is kind of a box I'm going to be staying in for a little bit more time. And now I'm chilling, because everyone else has to come into me, since I'm basically at the edge of 8th
Towards
zone.
Poppy. Towards me. I don't mind wasting all my ammo on you, boy. I don't mind. I got 300 bullets left.
But I make an interesting decision here to rotate farther into 8th zone, since I don't know if it's going to pull far, but I'm playing off of a gamble that it will, so I decide to rotate into this building here
Dang.
so that I can
should've
refarm
picked
mats and play a little bit safer.
Fury's better.
And I find a golden Fury on the
Right
floor, and since Furies are so much better than hollow ARs for endgames and for endgames only, I decide to take it over it. So now I'm kind
that's a
of deep
beautiful
into the 8th zone, and it pulls kind of close to me. So I'm just kind of looking around, and
in the
there's
cone?
only 3 people left,
Chad, is he in the
so I'm
cone?
kind of chilling here.
No way, right?
So I end
I
up
don't think
deciding
so.
to rotate through the main building into 9th
Where
zone,
is he?
since it's the most dead side, and I know that the other 2 people probably won't be able to get into it.
No, I think he's peeking through the cone, though.
So I kind of
think
just
it's gonna
refarm a little
be
bit here, make sure I'm cap mats, and I'm kind of just staying as dead as I can here, and I'm kind of chilling because there's literally no one else around me, and I'm just getting a free rotate in. However, I hear someone else coming, and I try to pre-fire him, but he knows that I'm there, so I kind of just stay in front of him and block him off. And since he just makes an edit,
Oh,
I
he's
spray him
white.
for a little bit, and I realize that he's white,
Oh, you
and
know.
once he knows that I know, he kind of just backs off since he doesn't want to lose his game over it. So now I'm just kind of chilling front side, trying to see if there's anyone else rotating around me. But I watch the footsteps on visual audio, and I know that they found another place to rotate. So here I'm just trying to get elevated and box up on a nice high layer. And since I don't really know where the other guys are, I'm kind of just playing a little bit safe. I do get shot up a little bit because there was a guy on the roof, but it's all good, and I pop some heals. So now with only 2 other people left, this game is winding down to a close, and I'm kind of just looking for the other guy who's running around on low ground, and I can hear him. However, this is when something really sad happens, because here I'm kind of just chilling on this roof, and this guy boxes
Okay, my
up,
bad, bro.
and I end
Drop
up
down.
slipping all the way off and sliding
What?
off of my build, and that's how I died.
What? No way that's how I die. No way. And of course that's my rank up game as well, bro. No way. Bro, I
As you
slip
could tell
off
by my
cone,
reaction, I was pretty angry.
and that's how I die.
But either way, I'm just going to summarize the tips that I have for this video in about 10 seconds. So first off, you should always be looking for damage if you're not going to try to pick fights. Second, don't camp, just take smart fights instead. Third, try to find people off spawn since that's the easiest way to get kills. And fourth, when you're playing endgames, actually use your brain.